right, people. Welcome back. I may be shutting this channel down soon. It's getting to a point where the foolishness, the ridiculousness of how people in the so-called progressive movement, these commentators who think that, they set the bar because we're doing independent journalism. We're doing progressive media. Nobody else is doing it. MSNBC's not doing it. You know what I want? I want truth. Wherever that leads me, I want to go where the truth leads me. All right? People say, hey, Dave, you're a good man. I understand what, I get this a lot. You're a good man. I'm a good man who, I guess, guilt by association, because I don't think Tulsi Gabbard did this horrible thing by saying that I don't think Joe Biden is a racist. Okay? And I'm going to show you by this one article here. This was posted on a television station, WILA, I think. I can't get to the top of this page, but gloves off. Biden segregationist comments spark infighting ahead of Dems' first debate. Folks, if the strategy by progressives is to brand this guy as a racist and to go after Tulsi Gabbard for quote-unquote defending him, you're going to have, this is a tough road to hoe, people. This is going to be suicidal for this movement, which is supposed to be issue-oriented. All right, so here's a little background on me in case you joined late in the game here. All right, former Trump supporter, still have some sympathy to some of the issues Trump ran on, like especially when it comes to intervention. I think he's the guy that pulled the plug on the attack, by the way, that we were going to do on Iran. He pulled the plug with like 10 minutes to go. Now, that could be theater. I don't know. I think his instincts are, let's not go kill a bunch of people. I'm hoping, all right? But he's still spending more money on the war machine than anybody in history. So, you got to balance that with, actual reality. And the reality is he's a wartime president, and he's a war machine president. So yeah, but anyway, let's read this article. And the reason I gave a little background is I came over here because I believe in Tulsi Gabbard. I think she would be a great commander-in-chief. She wants civility. By the way, if her aloha thing is going to be consistent, and this is what all the progressive commentators just like, she talks aloha. That's the first thing she says. And she said, this isn't a gimmick. This is actually who I am. And they all just flip out because, well, her comments weren't political. They weren't politically expedient. They weren't thought through. Really? Because aloha is who you are. When somebody says, they ask you what your faith is or what, your nationality, these are all intrinsic things to that person. They are not, like my faith, I'm a Christian, my faith is not a political calculation. I did not become a Christian so I could be more political or be appealing to a certain group of people. All right? In fact, being a Christian, I think these days, is probably a detriment to, your political future. Or you got to be like a nominal one. You don't actually go to church. You just do it for Christmas or something, or Easter. All right, so gloves off. Biden segregationalist comments spark infighting ahead of first Dem debate. And media loves a food fight, so they're going to throw this around. Former Vice President Joe Biden doubled down on his remarks about maintaining political civility with his segregationalist colleagues in the Senate back in the day, sparking the first major family feud in the Democratic primaries. Now, if you haven't noticed, Biden is old. Bernie Sanders was not in the Senate when Biden was in. Bernie was mayor of Burlington, and then Congress, and then he got to the Senate, I think in the 90s, from what I know. even though Bernie is older. So Bernie wasn't there. But Bernie has said that Joe Biden is his friend. Okay? And Bernie has said lots of complimentary things about Joe Biden. Now, we worked together in the Senate. We passed all kinds of legislation together. And consider Joe Biden a friend. Okay? You need Larry David, but, whatever. Democratic presidential hopefuls have quickly escalated from veiled attacks on Biden's age. Ageism. That's not... Hey, I've noticed that ageism is not one of the things. It's not on that list of things that is the protected... Because, number one, being old and being white is going to be a detriment as a Democrat. And their two leading candidates, Biden and Bernie, they're both old and white. Okay? So this is, and again, the New York Times or the Washington Post, they actually did an op-ed about this, and they said, the future should be Kamala Harris, or Cory Booker. But people haven't really gravitated to those campaigns. Look, Biden, for many people, and this isn't cutting-edge political analysis here, Biden, people who liked Barack Obama, they remember the bumper stickers. They remember Obama Biden. It kind of went together. Kind of had a nice ring to it if you were saying, saying it quickly. Obama Biden. Democratic presidential hopefuls, okay? And I say hopefuls because they're all hopeful because Biden right now, according to polls, and when I get to the end of this article, the stats are a little bit overwhelming. And this is why, even though I'm running this Tulsi page, Tulsi Gabbard is going to run into a brick wall. Bernie Sanders might run into a brick wall. Whoever else, Elizabeth Warren, which is the flavor of the month, she might run into a brick wall. Okay? So let's just be honest here. Most of the Democrats are garden variety, tribal in nature, hate Donald Trump. They don't really care about the issues the way progressives care about them. In other words, Medicare for all, it sounds like a good thing, but, as long as we just get Trump out. That's their views. Those are their political views. Biden is a nice guy. He talks nice, he smiles a lot, he empathizes, he tells sad stories. He recently lost his son. That's why he didn't run, supposedly, the last time around. People are going to empathize with that. They're going to see, politics is about feelings. It's been this way forever, and it stinks, because feelings oftentimes are more important than issues. How you feel about a candidate. Cortez there, when she went on with 60 Minutes, well, it's not really that important to be factually correct as it is to be morally thinking the right way about this particular issue. Okay? Now, maybe that's the opposite of what this is. Because I'm here, I represent this, and so, hey, that's a good thing, But it does nothing to move any of the issues. Looking at the polls, it isn't difficult to see why Biden is a marked man within his party. So, this station, by using that particular sentence here, this article from this television station, they're laying the groundwork. They're saying, look, Biden's a marked man. They're going after him because he's winning. National polls show Biden leading the field of 21 candidates by double digits consistently. According to, and this is the staggering thing for all of the McCarthyites out there who are screaming about race. Okay? This is a tough number to overcome, because then you got to go to your fellow black man or woman and say to them, why do you like this guy? Do you know that he was working with and happy to work with segregationists? Do you know that? And they're going to say Obama Biden to you. And then you're going to get people who are old-time Democrats, African Americans too, who are going to say, I don't have a problem with Joe Biden. That's what you're going to get. See, this is what it's mind-boggling that in the progressive movement, like in some of the conservative movements as well, like a Sean Hannity type fan, there's like these blinders, you're in a tunnel, and this is what you hear and see all day. And then you don't absorb anything else. You're in your own bubble. You got to get out of this mentality that everybody on the left has bad ideas and everybody on the right has bad ideas. Or however you look at the world. Because it's not reality. It's not your reality. Go out on the street. Talk to people. Talk to people and then find out, everybody's a racist. See? Because, they're supporting Biden. So I have to just believe that everybody who supports Joe Biden is a racist. This is the new McCarthyism. According to a recent Economist YouGov poll, 50% of black Democratic primary voters support Joe Biden. Wow. And the closest contender is Bernie Sanders at 10%. Kamala Harris has 7%. Elizabeth Warren, she ain't doing good with black voters. Pete Buttigieg, yeah, not surprisingly, not doing well with black voters. All right? Joe Biden, kicking some serious black voter butt. Okay? Of course, Tulsi Gabbard, nowhere to be found in any polls. So, she's, 1 or 2% total. And I don't think there are a lot of black people supporting Tulsi Gabbard for president. So, Joe Biden, do I think Joe Biden is a racist? No, I don't. Again, Obama, Biden. Now, you would say, well, Obama picked him because he needed balance on the ticket. He was black, so he needed to pick a racist to be his vice president. Wouldn't that go against any sort of, just even in the most bizarre type of arrangement? Well, we need to send a dog whistle to the racists that it's okay to vote for a black guy for president. Because the racists will see black guy running for president. No, of course not. I mean, come on, people. And so Tulsi Gabbard goes out and she says, I don't think Joe Biden is a racist. And this article, she's probably not stupid. She's reading. He's got a 50% approval. Okay, so did they poll just crazy black people? Did they poll black people who have landlines? Is that what this is? I'm sure we'll get this breakdown on this. At this point, I can't think that every poll that's taken that shows Biden doing well and Bernie not doing so well and whoever else doing, like Tulsi, not doing well. I cannot keep saying, it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy of polling. They're just not polling the right people. Well, we'll find out. Iowa caucuses, rather. We'll find out. We'll find out after the debates. Will there be a bump? These are just polls. These aren't actual votes. But still, when you're coming in with that kind of number, and and Bernie Sanders is 40% behind Biden with African Americans. Yikes, people. So, these claims, either you're saying that black people don't care, or even worse, that black people are stupid. Well, you're voting for Biden? You're thinking of supporting Biden for president? If black people truly believed in their hearts this guy was, anti-black or whatever, racist, there's no way that number would be 50%. You could say, attribute it to just nostalgia. You'll hear all the cutting-edge analysis. Well, it's nostalgia for the Obama years. Look, I don't like it, and you don't like it, but there are a lot of people that miss Barack Obama. I don't miss him. I'm glad he's gone. Okay? He's a wartime president who increased the number of wars. The economy stunk under Barack Obama. Many of the constituents that he supposedly ran to help did not do well when he was the president of the United States. The healthcare thing that they signed was a boon for insurance companies. I worked for a company that helped administrate this disaster known as Obamacare. The sweet spot, yeah, you get a subsidy if you make this much money. If you don't get it at all. Poor people, they don't qualify. So there's your there's your great achievement. I was there live to actually talk to people on the phone about it. So I can tell you it was an unmitigated disaster. All right? And then here's the question. Is there a Democratic presidential candidate that can beat Trump? Let's say yes, just for the heck of it. And they say yes. It's probably Biden. I think Bernie could do it, and I think Tulsi could do it. But the conventional wisdom is going to be Biden. And we're not going to get... Folks, this is the bottom line. People aren't picking up on Tulsi, and now maybe Bernie is starting to fade. I don't know. We'll see. But you're not going to get much change when it comes to domestic policy or foreign policy with Joe Biden. Joe Biden might actually be way more of a hawk than Donald Trump. But one thing is for sure. I just don't think this Joe Biden racist thing is going to stick. And I don't think Tulsi Gabbard committed the unpardonable sin by stating truth. Okay? She's just stating truth. She's not... You know what? Tulsi Gabbard does not behave like a politician. Thank God. And that's why I started supporting her. And this whole thing about aloha that she uses, if that's just a gimmick, then there's no way she could have said anything like this. Because it was aloha spirit. It's like, hey, I don't think the worst of this human being. What you're saying I don't think is true. Maybe Tulsi knows this. Maybe the remarks will at least get people talking about Tulsi Gabbard. You don't know why she said it. I think the number one reason she said it is because she doesn't think Joe Biden is a racist the way it's going around in progressive circles. And she's putting her progressive supporters on notice saying, no, this is another tribal attempt rather than going after Joe Biden on issues, which is really low-hanging fruit. Okay? This is the whole thing with Trump and impeachment. All right? It's the same thing. Go after Donald Trump on things like launching an unconstitutional war or sending troops without congressional approval. Just send 1,000 troops to Iran. That's kind of a big deal. Nobody cares. What they care about is, this dossier where Russian prostitutes and Trump were on in some hotel room having a romp doing some crazy stuff. That's what they care about. You know what I mean? So, the channel, I don't know how much life this channel has left in it. If things continue the way they're continuing, yours truly cannot, in good faith, continue to do what I'm doing for Tulsi Gabbard. It's going to have to change. Because I believe in Tulsi Gabbard, but I don't believe in this process. I don't believe in many of these progressives who are now eating their own. Somebody sent me a video of a guy, Progressive Voice or whatever, and he's destroying Jimmy Dore, okay? Who's one of the guys I respect because I believe Jimmy Dore actually believes the things that he says. I don't always agree with Jimmy Dore. I agree most of the time with him. I agree with his passion, his heart, and his sentiment, okay? Now, I'm sure Jimmy Dore might have some, opinions about what Tulsi did here by saying that I don't believe Biden's a racist. If you guys all go over that cliff together, I am not going with you. I'm an independent, just letting you all know. I'm very happy, registering as a libertarian. I could do just nicely in the Libertarian Party. It's the mind your own business party. It's the non-aggression party. Third most votes last time around, even though they had a sucky candidate by the name of Gary Johnson at the top, but they still got the third most votes. So, all right, I'm done with this one. You can think what you want about Tulsi Gabbard, but she's not a racist sympathizer. She just doesn't think this guy is a racist. And 50% of black people here in this poll don't either. So you have to talk to them. Don't talk to me. Talk to them. And if you think it's just Obama nostalgia, sure, there's some of that, but that's not all of it. That's not all of it. Just saying. All right, I'm done. This video is too long. Thanks for supporting the channel. Maybe you won't anymore, but I'll be hanging out at least for a little while longer doing this. So we'll see how it goes.